The gate locked me out of my own house. But that's when I realized the HOA had messed with the wrong engineer. That was the moment I decided. Enough was enough. My name's Marcus Hill, a 36-year-old software engineer who designs high-security access systems for government facilities. I'd recently moved into a beautiful gated community called Maple Creek Estates, thinking it'd be a quiet place to focus on work and raise my daughter, Amara. But what I didn't realize was that I was stepping into the territory of Linda Parks, the self-proclaimed queen of the HOA. Linda was the kind of woman who treated the neighborhood like her personal kingdom. Her voice carried through every community meeting, and her opinions were law. People either obeyed her rules or faced endless violations and fines. At first, I stayed polite. I figured keeping a low profile was best. But that all changed after I installed my custom-built smart gate. See, I had spent months designing a biometric gate system that used both facial recognition and encrypted passcodes, something I developed for a defense project. It wasn't just any gate, it was my masterpiece. The neighbors were amazed when they saw it. It opened smoothly, made no sound, and synced with my phone. Even the delivery guys were impressed. But apparently, Linda wasn't. She said it was an eyesore and violated the community's visual harmony. Translation: she didn't like that she couldn't control it. I explained calmly that it was entirely within the HOA's guidelines. It was built within the height limit, matched the property color scheme, and didn't affect anyone else. But Linda just smiled, that fake, tight-lipped kind of smile that told me she was already plotting something. A week later, I came home from work late one night. As I approached my driveway, I noticed something strange. My gate, normally motion-activated, stayed shut. I tapped the app on my phone. Nothing. Tried the backup code. Denied. Then a message flashed across the small gate screen. Access revoked. Contact HOA admin. My jaw dropped. They couldn't have. But they did. I called the emergency HOA number. Guess who answered? Marcus, this is Linda, she said sweetly. We've had to temporarily disable your gate. You see, we're conducting a neighborhood security audit. By locking me out of my own property? I snapped. Oh, don't be dramatic, she said. Just park outside for now. We'll have it sorted by tomorrow. I ended up hopping my own fence that night, suit, briefcase, and all. I was furious, but I played it cool. Because if there's one thing I've learned in tech and life, you don't go to war until you know your enemy's weapons. The next morning, I opened my system logs. My firmware records every remote command, and sure enough, I found a strange IP address that had accessed my gate's admin console. The user? HOA_admin_LP. Time of access? 3:42 p.m. The same hour I was at work. Linda had reprogrammed my gate. She'd somehow gotten into my local Wi-Fi network using the guest signal, the one I'd set up for visitors. She must have asked one of the HOA tech contractors to check the cameras and piggybacked access from there. That's when I realized she thought I was just some guy with a fancy gadget. She had no clue I built the entire system from scratch. Firmware, encryption, back-end, everything. So, I decided to have a little fun. That evening, I went to the next HOA meeting. Linda sat at the head of the table, sipping tea, surrounded by her council, a few nosy neighbors who treated gossip like a sport. Mr. Hill, she said, smiling, we're still looking into your gate situation. Oh, no need, I replied with a grin. I fixed it myself. Turns out someone unauthorized accessed the control system. Luckily, my security software caught the trace. The smile vanished from her face. You tracked it, she said slowly. Oh yes, I said, holding her gaze. Down to the username. HOA_admin_LP. Ring any bells. The room went dead silent. Her cheeks turned red. That's ridiculous. I have no idea. Of course, I said, cutting her off politely. But just in case, I've reported the IP to the local cybercrime unit. They'll handle the rest. She froze. I hadn't actually reported it, yet. But the bluff was enough to make her sweat. From that moment, I knew she'd back off, or at least try to. Except, Linda didn't back off. She doubled down. 2 days later, I received 3 new HOA violation letters. Improper gate color. Unauthorized electronic equipment. Disturbing neighborhood aesthetics. Each came with a fine, totaling $1,200. That was it. Linda wanted war? She was going to get one. I filed a formal appeal, but not before setting up a little surprise. I updated the firmware in my gate to include a honeypot access mode, basically a fake admin console designed to trick intruders. Sure enough, the next evening, I got a ping. Someone tried accessing the gate again. This time, the console displayed fake system files and a security override button. When Linda, or whoever she hired, clicked it, my system activated a silent camera and took a photo of the intruder. It was Linda herself, standing by my fence with her laptop, typing away in the dark. I didn't confront her immediately. Instead, I compiled everything, system logs, timestamps, photos, into a neat little folder. Then I requested a formal meeting with the HOA board, per community bylaws. When the day came, Linda strutted into the meeting room like she owned the place. But when I connected my laptop to the projector and started showing the evidence, her confidence cracked. "Here," I said, pointing to the timestamp. "That's the first unauthorized access, 3:42 p.m., from your admin account." Click. Next slide. A photo of Linda crouching by my gate. "And here," I continued, "is your security audit." Gasps filled the room. "I'm not a hacker," Linda shouted. "I was trying to help." I leaned forward. "You broke into a secured system, disabled my property, and falsified HOA fines. That's cyber intrusion and harassment." One of the board members spoke up. "Linda, is this true?" She stammered. "He's twisting things," but the evidence was undeniable. The board voted to suspend her immediately pending investigation. With Linda temporarily out of power, the board reviewed all her past violations against homeowners. Turns out, she'd been abusing her authority for years, fining people unfairly, reprogramming their access cards, and even manipulating security footage to target families she didn't like. She was removed from her position permanently, and the HOA had to refund multiple residents, including me. As for me, the board asked if I'd help them modernize the community's security systems. I agreed, on one condition: full transparency, no single person with absolute control. They agreed. I rebuilt the entire digital infrastructure from the ground up: encrypted networks, shared admin access, secure user keys. And yes, I even made sure every gate had a Linda lock, a failsafe that instantly blocks unauthorized tampering. A month later, I saw Linda walking her dog near my driveway. She stopped by my gate, hesitated, and looked up. "I just wanted to say," she began, "I didn't realize how serious this would get. I was only trying to maintain order." I smiled faintly. "Order doesn't mean control, Linda. It means fairness." She looked embarrassed, muttered something about moving to another neighborhood, and walked away. I watched her go, feeling a strange mix of relief and pity. She wasn't evil, just addicted to power she never should have had. That night, I sat with my daughter Amara, watching the gate lights softly glow in the dark. She asked, "Daddy, did you win?" I smiled. "Not really, sweetheart. I just reminded someone that technology, like power, should be handled with respect." Amara nodded, wise beyond her years. "So you built a gate that keeps out bad people?" I chuckled. "Exactly." And as the gate closed quietly behind us, I couldn't help but think, it wasn't just a gate anymore. It was a symbol. A symbol that no matter how much someone tries to control you, knowledge, truth, and integrity will always override fear and power. When someone underestimates you, don't get angry. Get smarter. Because sometimes, the best revenge isn't shouting or fighting. It's showing them just how capable you truly are.